Welcome into Browns Live. Nathan Zegura here, and on today's show, we're going to talk with David Njoku, fresh off of his career-high 149 yards in the game against the Chargers. Joe Thomas, the Hoff, will join us, and we will go in the film room to break down some of the big plays from the Browns' offensive explosion. And joining me now, the head coach of your Cleveland Browns, Kevin Stefanski. And Coach, let's just focus on the offense here. Pretty darn good game, over 500 yards of offense. He averaged, almost 8 yards a play, 42 points, no turnovers for the third straight game. What did you see offensively that you liked?
Yeah, I thought we were efficient in what we were doing. Obviously, the run game was outstanding. It's real easy to point to some good things. It's what we have to do is learn from the things that we got to get better at, and I point to that red zone just in general. We weren't very good down there early. We got to come through because points are at a premium.
Yeah, 3 of 6 in the red zone. When you went back and watched the tape, was there anything that you took away from that in that game?
Yeah, there's a couple opportunities that we thought we had a chance. We need to just clean up our operation. It's never one thing. Sometimes it's an alignment, sometimes it's an assignment. But when you get down there and the stakes are so high, you got to make sure you're playing clean.
We've heard so much about we got to finish. What does that even mean?
Yeah, I think we just have to find a way. And if it means in a 4-minute drive, we got to go possess the ball and end the game with the ball, we have to do that. If it's at a 2-minute drive and we got to go score a touchdown, we have to go do that. So it's pretty simple. It's doing your job. It's myself doing my job, players doing their job. And I think you've seen it from our team at times over the course of the last couple of years. I think you've seen it certainly this season. But we need to put a complete game together from an offense, defense, and special teams perspective.
Defensively in this one, you needed a lot of people to step in and step up. Obviously, a lot of injuries on that side of the ball. And I thought for the majority of the game, a good job. Couple of busts, which got to be cleaned up, as you've talked about. But overall, what did you see defensively that you can harness and try to build on going forward against another good offense coming to town on Sunday?
Yeah, that's a tough challenge versus their players, their scheme. I mean, it's a big offensive line. The quarterback's playing at a high level. They got the guys on the perimeter, good tight ends, good running backs. So I thought the guys battled. First and second down, we played good football, and at times played well on third down. It's really fourth down that got us, and we need to be better. We know that. Again, I wish the answer was simple and it was one thing. It's never one thing. So we're working real hard, making sure we're giving the guys something that they can execute and then make a play.
You are aggressive on fourth downs. There was a lot of aggressive plays and calls on both sides on fourth downs in this game. Have you seen early third quarter on your own 24 somebody go for it like that?
Yeah, I don't know that I've seen it, but that's an opportunity for us. It's an aggressive call by them, and obviously it came through. But that's an example of we got to come through in that area. Fourth down, I don't care if it's 1 or 10. It's an opportunity to get the defense off the field, and that's an opportunity for us to go make a big play.
Coach, you mentioned earlier in the offense, running the football effectively. You guys have already run for more than 150 yards in every game. Last year, which I thought was one of the best running attacks I've ever seen, you did it 6 times all season. We're 5 for 5 this year. What is clicking so much this year with that ground game?
Yeah, I'd think anytime you get another season of the same scheme together, same coaches, I think you're seeing Coach Callahan put together such a strong run plan with good players. You combine a good plan with good players, I think that's what you're seeing. And I think with our 2 backs, what they've proven is it doesn't have to be blocked perfectly. They will take dirty runs and get us back to the line of scrimmage if we left an unblocked player, or they'll take a average blocked play and it can turn into a big one. And when it's clean, as you saw Nick this past week, when it's clean, these guys have home run threats.
They certainly do, and that also comes with the receivers being involved. And I think a lot was made about perhaps a lack of targets for Odell, but you pop that tape on, this guy is mauling people in the run game, which is not something anybody had ever said, oh, that's what Odell Beckham Jr. is known for, but the other stuff's going to come. But when you see that buy-in, and it goes every single receiver in that room, and I know Chad O'Shea would have it no any other way, what does that tell you about the mentality that you've got building on this offense?
Yeah, I think what it speaks to is we're trying to find a way to win every single game. And when it's the run game, those receivers, in a game like it was out there in LA, when the run game's clicking and it's clicking at a high level, they understand that they're going to be majorly involved in the success of the run game. So that's what the game called for, and that's where you ask all of our guys to put the team first, and they do. The receivers in particular do. Now, there may be a game where we got to throw it 50 times, and now it's incumbent on the blockers to block their guys so the receivers can go win downfield. So it works both ways.
It certainly does. And one guy who's kind of really elevated his blocking, David Njoku, he will be in our player spotlight when we return here on Browns Live.
The thing about 7-Up is, it always looks good, sounds good, and tastes good. There's nothing like the crisp, clean, refreshing taste of 7-Up.
Did you know tires from Conrad's include everything you need to deliver maximum life and performance? Lifetime rotations and balancing, flat repairs, wheel alignment inspection, plus 3 years of road hazard protection. Count on Conrad's for the best total value. Right now, get up to $120 off instantly on a set of 4 eligible Bridgestone tires when you use your Bridgestone CFNA credit card.
Subject to credit approval.
Bridgestone, official tire of the Cleveland Browns, proudly sold at your hometown.
Hey girl, you look bored as heck. I think it's time for a little vibe check, please. Here, have a Snapple. Let's have some fun.
Who, me?
Sure, everyone. Do yourself a flavor with Snapple. Now this new bottle's a vibe.
They said it couldn't be done, but somehow CCM was able to close this home in just 21 days. Carl, how'd you pull this off?
Oh, hard work, dedication, grinding.
Were you ever worried?
Well, you know, Chloe, they pinned us in deep in the second bedroom, inspection issues, but we regrouped. Knew there was still a lot in play.
Well, I'm sure the Franklins were pleasantly surprised.
We got a good organization here. A lot to look forward to.
Good luck with the next close. And there you have it. Cross Country Mortgage is dedicated to getting it done.
Thank you for coming today. I'd like to read a brief statement. As the special meals coordinator for the Cleveland Browns, I'm proud to have drafted Mid's True Sicilian Pasta Sauce with our first pick. Made in Ohio for over 60 years, he's a hometown hero. From hearty meat sauce to classic marinara, there's no doubt Mid's is ready for Sunday dinner. We know the taste is there, though his skills on the field will need improvement. But we're working on it. Day in and day out. Well, he practices about 3 days a week.
Touchdown to Chubb! He's done it again!
Cleveland Browns fans, joining our season ticket member waitlist has its benefits. From exclusive team content to first access to single game tickets, membership starts at just $100 per seat. Joining the waitlist is the first step to becoming a season ticket member and getting these special benefits.
The Browns are winners again!
Visit clevelandbrowns.com/tickets for more information about the waitlist and your chance to be a part of the Browns' future.
Welcome back into Browns Live. Nathan Zegura here, and it is my distinct pleasure to welcome into the show the one and only, the Hoff, Joe Thomas. And Joe, the Chief, had a breakout game down in L.A. 7 catches, 149 yards, and a touchdown. The fifth-year player really starting to shine. He came into the league so young at a position that's so tough. What have you seen in his evolution from when you used to know the Chief?
Yeah, the Chief is really coming into his own. He's matured so much on the field and off the field, and he's really taken to Kevin Stefanski's offense. He's become that big play threat in the middle of the field where you can get your tight end the football and he can hit the explosive play that every offense would love to have. And this offense especially does really well when you've got those tight ends that can catch the football and make those big plays after the catch.
And that's one of the hardest positions to learn because you need to learn everything right in the pass game and everything in the run game. So sometimes there's slower development there, but it really seems like the light bulb has clicked. It is blocking, and then, of course, his route running, and now his hands are as reliable as anybody's on the team.
Absolutely. You have to learn the mastery of offensive line play and route running, which just learning one of those took me about 7 years. And so for a guy like a tight end, like David Njoku, who maybe didn't do as much of these concepts that he's doing now when he was in college, sometimes it just takes a little bit longer, but a man that's as dedicated, as smart, as tough, and football means so much to him. David Njoku, you give him a little bit of time with that athleticism, and now you're seeing the rewards.
David Njoku also caught up with our Andrew Gribble in this week's Player Spotlight presented by McDonald's.
Caught, and Njoku's got it out of a tackle. 50, 45, 40, 35, 30. He's running free. 10, 5, touchdown! The Chief has scored!
All right, we're joined now by Browns tight end David Njoku. And David, unfortunately, it was a losing effort, but you had a big game against the Chargers, 7 catches for 149 yards and a touchdown. What was working so well for you in the offense on Sunday?
Yeah, we prepare very often, and when preparation meets opportunity, I guess success happens. So we were very prepared. I was very prepared for this, and, you just got to keep working.
on that 71-yard touchdown, you really showed off kind of a lot of parts of your game with your athleticism and then your speed. I mean, what's going through your head as you're outrunning everyone on that Los Angeles defense?
Yeah, I got a lot of smoke for that because I almost got caught, and I was cramping, really bad throughout the game. So, it's not an excuse, but it is what it is. I was glad to get that touchdown, and now we're on to next week.
It seems like within this offense, you guys are using the tight ends even more than last year. You, Austin, and Harrison are getting on the field a lot and making a lot of plays. What is it about your group that makes it such a good option for Baker to look in the passing game?
For sure. I think we are very versatile. So that being said, you want us to block, we can block. You want us to run routes and catch the ball, we can also do that. And then you throw in the screen game along with it, and I think it helps our game in the overall.
And you guys are obviously a key part of the running attack too. The Browns lead the league in almost every single rushing category. What kind of role do the tight ends play there, and how much have you guys gotten better at blocking and running?
A very big role, I believe. We are asked to do things that a lot of people, can't really do. So we take great pride in that, as a room, as a whole unit, and we just gotta keep putting the work in every day, and then good things will happen.
From week 4 to week 5, it was a huge improvement for the offense. What was that like in practice in the lead up to that week 5 game, and how much can you guys build off a performance like that?
I mean, like I say, it's all about the work. Something Kevin Stefanski says quite often is we're all about the work. And like I said, we take great pride in that, so it's every day, it's a grind, and we try to capitalize as much as we can off of it.
You guys have had back-to-back road games, and all of a sudden now 3 straight games at home. What do you like best about getting in front of the home fans and then having a nice long stretch here at home?
There's nothing like the dog pound. I'm telling you, there's nothing like it. One of the reasons why I wanted to stay was because of the dog pound. So we were very appreciative of our fans, and we just need a whole, full crowd this upcoming Sunday.
All right, David, thank you so much, and good luck on Sunday against the Cardinals.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
David Njoku, part of an excellent tight end group that includes Austin Hooper and Harrison Bryant. And in this game, we had multiple tight ends on the field about 60% of the time. What does that do for Kevin Stefanski, and why does that make it hard for defenses, Joe?
There's really 3 ways to attack a defense. One is at the line of scrimmage with your running game, with your short passes. And then there's taking the top off the defense, right? With Odell Beckham Jr., with Anthony Schwartz. But if you're good at both of those things, which the Browns clearly are, that leaves the middle of the field with a lot of space to be able to attack. And that's where your tight ends come into play. So having an offense like the Browns do, where you can run the football, you can take the top off with some explosive deep passes, and then you can kill them with the tight end play in the middle of the field, makes you so dangerous and almost impossible to defend.
We're going to take a look at these tight ends. We get a 2-point conversion to Austin Hooper and some blocking on a huge run from Nick Chubb when Browns Live returns. We're going into the film room.
Let's take a quiz. What should you look for when choosing a lawyer? Competent counsel, fair compensation, personal attention, experience? Yeah, it's a pretty long list. The fact is, choosing a lawyer is a critically important decision and well worth researching. That's why Elk & Elk is the right choice. Our team has recovered over $1 billion for our clients and has experience trying cases just like yours. Elk & Elk. Every client, every day.
As a family-owned and operated business now in its 3rd generation, we believe in the handshake. We believe in having a relationship with our customers that gives them the peace of mind that they can call us at any hour and we can help them with any problem that they have or any special circumstance. As I've grown in this industry, I've tried to instill the different things that my grandparents did, the different things that my dad has done to make people feel that they truly are at the best place in private EMS.
The thing about 7-Up is, it always looks good, sounds good, and tastes good. There's nothing like the crisp, clean, refreshing taste of 7-Up.
Hey girl, you look bored as heck. I think it's time for a little vibe check, please. Here, have a Snapple. Let's have some fun. Who, me? Sure, everyone. Do yourself a flavor with Snapple. Now this new bottle's a vibe.
Welcome back to Browns Live. Nathan Zegura and the Hoff, Joe Thomas. And Joe, we were so excited about what the Chief did. We didn't even talk about this game. A heartbreaker, but one heck of an offensive performance. 42 points, over 500 yards of offense, no turnovers, nearly 8 yards of play. What did you see from the Browns on O?
It was really an impressive performance by this Browns offense. They did everything that you want from an offense, being able to run the football, being able to throw the football down the field, match the other team's offense score for score, and almost as important as all those things is no turnovers. Because when you're playing an offense like the Chargers that's really explosive, that scores almost every time they touch the football, not giving them extra possessions a lot of times is the difference between winning and losing. Unfortunately, losing in heartbreaker fashion like the Browns did last weekend, it hurts, but this is going to be a great learning experience for this offense and this team as a whole.
And there's a lot of great offensive tape, so let's just dive right into it here in this week's film session presented by Microsoft. It's our play breakdown, and we're going to start with Nick Chubb's 52-yard touchdown run. And Joe, this is some textbook wide zone scheme right here. We're going to start with the formation. Harrison Bryant's going to come in motion to shift the strength, balance it out. Now you've got a tight end on the right and a tight end on the left, but now you've got Janovich here, strong side. He's going to be able to get that quick kick out. He's going to seal here, and then Janovich is going to be able to get to the second level, which is going to end up being important.
Great offenses use shifts and motions to their advantage. A shift is where you have everybody set and then everybody moves and they get set again. A motion is where everybody's set and one person moves and then doesn't actually have to get set again. And what that does to the defense is if you shift, a lot of times they're going to move their front to make sure that they have all the gaps in the angle and the leverage that they want. When you motion, a lot of times what you get is those defensive linemen and those linebackers will stay planted. They'll keep their feet and they're responsible for the same gaps, which gives you leverage. And that's exactly why Kevin Stefanski used a motion instead of a shift on this play. You start with both tight ends to one side. You motion across the formation to be able to get the angles that you want on those double team blocks. And that's exactly what they got. They were able to get the double team block on the outside, keep the line of scrimmage clean on the outside. That's the most important thing when you're running the outside zone. It allows Nick Chubb to stretch the ball and to get all of his blockers that are up front with their hats on the proper side of the block to put the defense in a bind, to make them go into panic mode where they're going to give ground and they're going to try to run over the top to try to get back into leverage, to back into that contained position, to try to force the running back inside, which is always what the defense is trying to do. But in this case, it doesn't work. Nick Chubb is too good. That offensive line and tight end blocking is just too sharp with such great technique. And it's music to an offensive lineman's eyes being able to watch Nick Chubb getting into the secondary and showing off that track speed down the sideline.
While Nick Chubb is a special talent, Kevin Stefanski clearly a special play designer. And last week we showed you a two-point conversion. This week we're going to show you another one. And the Browns earlier in the game used this motion before, where they're going to have Demetric Felton come across, fake kind of that jet motion where he acts like he gets it, sees how the defense reacts, and then he's going to immediately go right back. And now when the Browns have run this in the past, they've done two things. One, Felton slides right on out, and you can see that. It could be there. He could throw it because you have this kind of traffic jam right here, and you can throw it right out to Felton. Two, we've actually handed it off and run an inside zone off of that with that jet motion, hopefully widening the defense. But this time, Kevin Stefanski says, you've seen both of those, but you haven't seen this, as Baker is going to inside underhand shovel pass it to the waiting Austin Hooper. And you've got that wall there, Joe. This is next level stuff.
Yeah, when you get in the red zone and you get close to the goal line, you have to get creative because the space that you have to work with gets so much smaller. The grass that the defense has to defend is so much fewer. And so this play comes off of the classic sprint out action where you've got all those plays to the flats, you got those option routes, you've got the ability to get the football to your running back quickly. But what this does is giving the defense a little bit of an eye fake, right? You got Austin Hooper, who originally starts to block the defensive end. Then he lets him go, and he gives the defensive end the impression that, hey, I can make a play on this quarterback. I can knock the football down. I can force an incompletion. And then what you have is great work inside by the right guard and the right tackle to be able to get a double team up to the second level, which really is the key block here because those are the only guys that can make the play on Austin Hooper after the defensive end goes for that little bit of a block and delay and starts chasing the quarterback. Great design by Kevin Stefanski, even better execution by the Browns. And the 2-point conversion is good.
Hoff, always a pleasure. We'll be with you again next week. In fact, you might even be in town next week for the Browns and the Broncos on Thursday Night Football. But when we come back on Browns Live, Kevin Stefanski, he is back talking about the challenge of the Browns and the undefeated Arizona Cardinals coming up this Sunday at First Energy Stadium. Browns fans, you can now train like the pros at Browns Fit. Our 20,000 square foot state-of-the-art fitness facility is open. Browns Fit creates a safe and healthy environment for members and guests and showcases the latest in innovative fitness technology with personal training and much more. Located in the flats of downtown Cleveland on the second floor of the Aloft Hotel. Specials for Browns Fits are available for a limited time, so act now. Visit us at brownsfit.com today to become a member and train like the pros.
I'm Graham.
And I'm Fist.
And we're the founders of
Graham and Fist Wine in a Can.
100% California award-winning wine in a proven package. And announcing our Rookie of the Year, 8.4 ounces of award-winning California wine.
We've got red, we've got white, we've got rosé with bubbles, and we've got white with bubbles.
All with Wine Enthusiast Magazine Best Buy Awards. You can buy and get delivered right to your door by visiting grahamandfisk.com or from participating local retailers.
Cleveland Browns fans, joining our season ticket member waitlist has its benefits. From exclusive team content to first access to single game tickets, membership starts at just $100 per seat. Joining the waitlist is the first step to becoming a season ticket member and getting these special benefits.
The Browns are winners again.
Visit clevelandbrowns.com/tickets for more information about the waitlist and your chance to be a part of the Browns' future.
A parent or spouse, a neighbor or friend, we care for the lives entrusted to us with technology, medicine, expertise, and passion, delivered with understanding and support. Not just addressing heart and vascular problems, truly caring for you as a person. We are University Hospital's Harrington Heart and Vascular Institute, and we are here for you.
Welcome back into Browns Live. Nathan Zegura and the head coach of your Cleveland Browns, Kevin Stefanski. Time now for our game preview brought to you by Ticketmaster. And Coach, it's the Browns, and it is the only unbeaten team in the NFL, the Arizona Cardinals. Well, what does this team show you when you put on the tape?
5-0 for a reason. They're scoring a bunch of points on offense. They're playing great defense. They're limiting the amount of points for the opponent. So they're just playing complementary ball. I think they're +5 in the turnover margin. So I see players playing at a really high level in their scheme, and I think as a team they're playing very complementary football.
They're unique too on offense. 22% of the time they throw 4 receivers out there. You don't see that anywhere else in the NFL, but they've got the guys to do it. How does that challenge a defense?
Yeah, it's a very unique challenge, like you mentioned. So what it does is it really makes you defend all 53 1/3 of the field, and they can spread you out with speed and size on the outside. And when they spread you out, now they have guys like Rondale Moore who are really quick and can really win in space. So it's not one answer. It's not this one coverage takes away everything. It's really trying to be about our business in multiple coverages, maybe some different fronts, and ultimately just doing your job.
Kyler Murray's playing as well as anybody in the league right now. In fact, only 3 times in NFL history through 5 weeks has somebody thrown for 1,500 yards and completed 75% of the passes. The other two, Peyton Manning in his record-setting season and Drew Brees. So elite company. When you put him on, what are you seeing?
He's a great player. He's playing at a high level. I think when things are in rhythm and he gets the ball out of his hand, he's an extremely accurate passer. When he holds the ball and buys time, he's dangerous. Until the play's over, it's never over with him. He can roll to his right, roll to his left, buy time, try and find a guy downfield. And for DBs, it's hard. You got to plaster your guy and cover for a long time. So for us, it's really about our rush plan. It's about having lane integrity, being sticky in the back end. But this is a great player, and he's playing at a high level.
Flip it around. You're not undefeated just because you're a great offense. Their defense has been playing well, and there's something that you talk about, ball seeking. They will get after the football, 9 forced fumbles on the season. What do you see from this group kind of front to back?
Yeah, I'd say first of all, what you notice is they're very big up front, and J.J. Watt adding him to the mix, and you know, we played him last year. He can affect the run game, can affect the pass game, can get his hands on balls, and then throughout their front, just length and size, and they're playing very physical. And then on the back end, I see some ball hawks. Buda Baker is as good a safety as there is right now playing in the game. He can disrupt the run game. He can cover from really numbers to numbers in the back end, and he's a ball hawk. He is around the ball.
He certainly is. Coach, we get a question here from one of our great fans on Browns Live. They say, and this comes from H.H. Reed, do you look more at matchups while game planning, or do you just say, this is what we do well, and we're going to run it regardless of the matchup?
Yeah, I think when we go into it, we know who we are and what we've built and our identity, whether offense or defense. And then we watch a tape and we say, all right, what might give this team problems? And it's really blending those two things together. So it's what we do and who we are versus things that we think will hurt them.
So early in the show, I mentioned David Njoku, coming off of a career game, 149 yards, 7 catches. We all know he's improved so much as a blocker, and really it's been a stretch, I think, a very good play for him. Is he a guy that we're going to see more of in the pass game as this season goes on? Because it seems like he's a mismatch for anybody. He's bigger than the small guys that can run with him, and he's faster than the big guys that can't.
Yeah, without a doubt. We see the skill set. We want to use it. There's a bunch of guys that we just feel confident when they're on the field that they can make a play on the ball. David's certainly one of them. Seeing the plays that he made this last week, he's a very fast player from that size. And if you think about those tight ends, they don't need to create separation horizontally when you can go up vertically to go get it. So David, Hoop, Harrison are bigger bodies that the quarterback really trusts, and then ultimately if they can break one and like David did, run down the sideline, that's a bonus.
It certainly is a bonus, and it's a bonus to be back home after a couple weeks on the road, get back on the grass at First Energy Stadium. How excited are you to be back in front of those great fans who have, as you mentioned, a little extra time to get ready for this one?
Yeah, we're excited to get down there on the lake, you know, a 4 o'clock start, so our fans will be, I know, ready to go. We're undefeated at home, and I really believe they play a huge role in that. I just know what it feels like for an offense when you're on the road and you can't operate like you normally do. It's a big deal. So again, our fans have been great, and we're going to be counting on them again this week.
Coach, looking forward to it. It's going to be a great one. Best of luck on Sunday against the Cardinals.
Thanks, Nathan.
All right, that'll do it for us on Browns Live. Remember to get to First Energy Stadium early. And returning in 2021, Browns fans can benefit from using the free express access at First Energy Stadium through touchless facial recognition technology powered by Wicket. Visit the Browns website or mobile app to learn more on how to skip the lines and catch all of the game day action. For the head coach of your Cleveland Browns, Joe Thomas, and of course the Chief, David Njoku, I'm Nathan Zegura saying thanks for watching another edition of Browns Live, and let's